Cascino from AECom and Luke Martinek from Sam Schwartz Engineering.
Welcome, everyone. I see some people are just joining now, and I'm glad you joined us today. My name is Tom Cascino, Vice President at AECom. I'm a former ACEC New York Chair and a new EEA Committee Co-Chair.
And hello, I'm Luke Martinek, Vice President and General Manager at the New York office of Sam Schwartz. And I am also a co-chair and have served as a moderator for this awards panel or for the judging in the past, and look forward to being the co-chair again this year.
Yeah, good point, Luke. So I also served as a moderator, and I hope to impart some lessons learned, and Luke will do the same as we go through the presentation and the Q&A today. So today we're going to familiarize you and update you on the process of submitting your final entry for the Engineering Excellence Awards for 2022. And we'll be happy to answer any questions you have as you prepare to win. Luke and I are not experts at this, but we've been doing it a long time, and we also have quite a few folks from ACEC headquarters that can answer any of the really difficult questions on the phone today, on the call today. So the agenda today is before you. I'll be covering probably the initial 4 topics up through and including about half of the final entry contents. Then Luke's going to take over and bring us right on through to the Q&A. So feel free to put your questions in the chat. I believe you're all muted, so we'll open it up at the end for Q&A. So this year we received 122 preliminary entries. Staff has processed them into a database, and you should all have received instructions on how to submit your final entry materials, including the final checklist form and an FAQ. So these documents are also available to download from the Engineering Excellence page of the ACEC website. Final entries are due September 22nd, and ACEC New York will accept them after this date up to September 29th with a $100 late fee. The judging event has been scheduled. It's set for October 21st. Judges are invited by ACEC New York, and they include military and government officials, ACEC national and international leadership, educators from colleges and universities, engineering departments, representatives from relative press outlets, and leadership from other organizations dedicated to the built environment. Judges will receive the executive summary and images of projects they will judge prior to the event. After listening to the moderator present the project, judges are asked to give a numerical score of 1 to 10 based on the criteria shown. Judges are asked to base their score on the criteria on the merits of each project and not compare projects to each other. Please note, we do not allow members to act as judges. There may be duplicate projects in a category because the program allows firms to submit their portions of a project which could fall into the same category. Again, these projects are judged on their own merits and not compared to each other. So the moderators. The moderator is a professional engineer who volunteers their time to present the project to the panel of judges. Moderators are asked what category they want to present. Typically, they'll choose a category that they're most familiar with so that they have a better understanding of the types of projects and are better able to describe it. Moderators receive all the written and visual materials prior to the judging. That is why we stress that the materials submitted are clear and address the judging criteria point by point. If your explanations are unclear, modders won't be able to present the project properly. Keep in mind that moderators generally present 4 to 6 projects for review, so it's a really heavy lift for the moderators to be able to do that. Moderators are not associated with the project in any way, and many moderators have been filling this role for years. I personally did this role for 2 years, and I have to tell you, it was one of the hardest things that I've done for ACEC. Primarily because several of the projects didn't follow the instructions, and it made it very difficult for me to present that project in what I felt was the proper way. So following the instructions and really stressing the rating criteria really helps the moderators. Each room is staffed with a room captain. The room captain is also a volunteer and is in charge of the room, including keeping the moderators to their respective times, collecting the score sheets, and managing the room. Room captains are supplied with the project information, and they can assist in answering questions for the moderator or judges. The Engineering Excellence Committee usually volunteers to be moderators and/or room captains, but these roles are open to any member. If you or your colleagues are interested in being a moderator, contact ACEC New York. It's a great way to learn about the judging process and to work on your presentation skills, as well as network with our key industry judges and your fellow moderators. You can call or email ACEC New York staff to volunteer or receive more information. So final entry submission. Now we'll go over the actual entry process. Remember, all entries must be submitted electronically, either through the online file share site, WeTransfer.com, or by mailing a flash drive containing your files directly to ACEC New York main office. It is required that 2 folders be submitted, one with the full project, one with the materials for the photographic panel. This will assist our office greatly as we prepare entries for judging and for the gala. Both file folders must be labeled so it is clear which project it refers to and which folder holds the panel. These file names should be as abbreviated as possible. File names should preferably be less than 20 characters. WeTransfer.com file folders should be zipped. Detailed instructions on how to create, zip, and upload your project to WeTransfer.com have been emailed to all firms that submitted preliminary entries, and the instructions are also available for download from the EEA page of our website. Remember to include payment if you are mailing a flash drive. If you are uploading your files, send a check separately to ACEC New York office. If your firm has multiple entries, please submit one check and note on the memo line, Engineering Excellence. We can also accept ACH payment. Contact our office for banking information if you want to go that route. We do not accept credit card payments for EEA. The final entry fee is $400 per project for members, $600 per project for non-members. Projects with unpaid fees will not be considered for judging. Now we will review the contents that should make up your submission. Remember, the first file folder should include all the items we are listing, while the second file folder includes only the panel. The first required item is the final entry form checklist. Complete this form after you've gathered all the materials so you can be sure you've included all required parts of your entry. The project name written on this form will be the official name of the project and must match the preliminary entry. This project name will appear exactly as submitted on all marketing material, as well as on the plaques and in the video. The category should be the same category you indicated on the preliminary entry form. So no switching categories between preliminary and final entries is the point to make there. If the firm decides to change the name or the category, they need to contact ACEC New York directly. No name or category changes will be accepted after the final entry is received. All projects must be accompanied by an endorsement release letter from the client on client letterhead. This letter takes time to secure. Please do not wait to ask your client for the letter. The letter must be on the client letterhead and submitted as an electronic copy. Projects cannot be advanced to judging without the letter. A sample of what the letter should say is included in the final entry instructions. Many times letters are sent directly to the ACEC New York office. If this occurs, staff will notify the EEA contact at the firm. And from personal experience, I can tell you, don't wait on this. Hopefully you've already requested this of your clients. It does sometimes take time, and we have, I know at AECOM, had at least 1 or 2 projects that we were not able to advance because we were not able to get this letter for one reason or another. So the project description can be technical in nature, and it is reviewed by an engineer. to communicate the unique qualities of the project to the judges. Entries can include text, graphics, or charts as needed. Make sure the descriptions cover all of the following items: originality, future value to the profession, sustainability, complexity, and exceeding client needs. The executive summary is another document used by the moderator to explain the project to the judges. This document will be sent to the judges and should be in layman's terms. Like last year, the executive summary should be submitted in an outline format, divided into sections based on how the project addresses each judging criterion. The outline should highlight what is unique about the project and why it is worthy of recognition. Be sure to highlight the innovations present in the project, elaborating on what was included in the project description, as these highlights will count greatly towards the final score. The summary should work together with the photos and the entry panel, since this is what the judges will see on the screen as the moderator is presenting the project. So a PowerPoint presentation will be used to present each project to the judges. The presentation should have 7 slides, a title slide that includes the name of the project and category, 5 images on separate slides, and a final slide with the panel. Don't forget to include a Word document with captions for the images to be used by the moderator. No presentations should include any transitions, animations, preset timings, or slideshow sequencing. Just a reminder, this will be presented for judging, so no identifying information, including firm logo or name, should appear anywhere on these slides. Background should be plain white and should not include any sort of template, especially not one that incorporates the entering firm's logo. Slides should be standard size, not widescreen. Photos should be scaled down appropriately to fit the slides in the PowerPoint presentation. To reduce the file size, images should be inserted from the PowerPoint menu and not copied and pasted. 5 color photos are used during the judging process to help tell the story of the project. The photos should coincide with the written material. Photos are included in the PowerPoint presentation and can be different from the panel images. A separate Word document should be included with captions for each photo, and the captions and images should be labeled accordingly. Note, the size refers to the photos as their own separate files. Photos should be submitted in the format requested. The size is approximate. Most digital cameras have an output approaching that size. However, we do not recommend the photos be much smaller, as they are used in print and digital marketing pieces, both for the EEA program and for general association marketing. Again, no reference to the firm name should be included on the photo. Including photos on any personal vests or hats in images, which has been an issue in past years. So Luke, at this point, take us the rest of the way home.
Sure thing, Tom. So a few rules about the photos. Just want to clarify a few things. When you submit a photo, don't combine smaller photos into a collage and submit that as a single photo. Firms are limited to the 5 photos, and deviation from this rule affects the fairness of the proceedings and may not be eligible to move on to the national competition. So do include photo attribution and release if available. ACEC New York will use these photos for marketing outreach going forward, as well as featuring on social media, and all photos must have permission to be shared in this manner. Photos should be in JPEG or PNG format. Please do not submit BMP, TIFF, or other formats. And if you have any other questions on photo submissions, don't hesitate to contact ACEC New York staff, and make sure your photos showcase the work that your company did on this project rather than just showcasing the finished product. I think I'll just share my experience. You know, sometimes with larger projects, you'll have a bunch of firms. You know, when I was a moderator, I spoke about the same project 3 times for 3 different firms' role on the project, and sometimes the photos can really tell the story. So it's important, obviously finished photos of a massive project are impressive, but really trying to tell the story of what your firm did on the project is very important. So the studies category, which is a separate one, operates a little differently. If you're submitting a study, your images can include charts, graphs, things like that of your final results. So the panel file. So this is an important one. The panel is essentially a presentation poster. So it's really telling the story of your project in one poster. It should summarize the project in a professional, eye-catching way. We'll show you an example here in a little bit of an excellent panel that was presented last year. Details for how to prepare the photographic panel, including types of photos, font size, specifications. They're all included in the instructions, and the final panel will be printed in a 30 by 30 format. Panel design should include a maximum of 6 photos. A background image doesn't count. So just to stress, the firm name should only appear in the title box in the bottom right hand. Panel files should be saved as a separate file in the second zipped folder on the second disk. The panel should also be included on the final slide of the presentation. So we also asked that a PDF proof of your panel be included for reference, just to make sure that that's showing up the way that you want it printed. Final entry content. So just a recap of what Tom and I went through. Everything, the panel, as a reminder, should be included in the first file disk and then also sent in a separate file disk so we might easily print them. Also be sure to include a PDF proof in your files. ACEC New York is contracted with vendors to actually print them and ship them to the Hilton for display during the gala. Entrants can take the panel home at the end of the evening if they're so inclined. So just to recap that, ACEC will be printing them and arranging for them to be at the event, and then you can take them home if you want to assign someone from your office to bring it home that night. Again, we want to stress the best entries are those in which the photos and panels work with the executive summary and project description and tell the story of the project. Less text, more pictures is usually best. Use the text allotment judiciously to tell the story of your project. Show, don't tell why your project is award-worthy. An award is presented to the firm who submits the best panel. The winner receives a special plaque and the panel is featured in the gala program. So actually, here's an example of the one that won last year. I'm actually very familiar with this one. Came from our awesome graphics team here. And so this is actually for the 14th Street Busway. And as you can see, this was one in a category where some of the charts and graphs drew people's eye to get closer and learn more about the project. Interesting title for the project. We were talking about how making this busway on 14th Street was beneficial. And just generally, this is an arrangement that really told the full story of the project. And we were very honored to have ACEC acknowledge that this poster board last year was well put together. So the graphic won best panel in 2021, as I mentioned. So minimal use of text, use of a lot of color, eye-catching photos, and clean and not cluttered. Not a lot of overlapping in this case. So final entry contents. So let's see here. If you have entered your project in the studies, research, and consulting engineering category, which is category A, you need to submit a supplemental report with the entry. This should be submitted as a separate file on its own disk or its own file folder. So let's talk a little bit about the award levels. Every project receives an award. Based on the total points, the awards are presented as follows in descending order: diamond, platinum, gold, and silver. The Empire Award is awarded to the best project designed and built entirely within New York State. It's evaluated based on contributions to the economic health of an area, sustainability, and creativity. Diamond Award winners that fit the criteria are entered into the pool of winners, and the winner is decided by best overall score for the Empire Award. The winner of the Empire Award will be revealed the night of the gala. All firms in contention for the award will be notified that they are in the running. The final winner will be determined by score. Any eligible firm should be prepared to accept. Notifications of your award level are sent via email to your awards liaison. As part of your entry fee, you'll receive a firm plaque and a client plaque. Diamond Award winners receive glass awards, which will be given on stage at the gala. Additional plaques and awards can be ordered. Diamond Award projects in each category will be advanced to the national competition. One major thing to note, the national submission and entry fee are the sole responsibility of the member firm. ACEC New York does not cover the national entry fee for the finalists. If you decide not to enter to the national level, we ask that you notify our office. The best panel award is given to the highest rated panel and is not tied to the award level of the project. So meaning that's separate, the panel itself is a separate award category. So the gala itself, April 9th, 2022 at the Midtown Hilton. It's a wonderful, exciting event. Guests are invited to attend in formal attire. There's live music and dancing. Prior to the dinner, there's a cocktail reception that takes place where the entry boards will be on display. So where everyone can walk around and see those entry boards that you spent a lot of time on. It's really interesting. I've loved walking through and learning about what our not clients, but what our colleagues are doing. It's a good way of seeing all of the awards, the whole 122 that Tom mentioned earlier. You can see the poster boards for those projects. So the Diamond Awards are actually presented live on stage during the event. And the client, so let's see, I guess to the firm and the client, if the client is there with you. So Diamond Award recipients are invited to attend an exclusive Empire reception before the main reception. The Platinum, Gold, and Silver projects are honored via video. All projects entered are also listed in the program journal, and all panels are displayed on the screen during dinner. Firms will have an opportunity to have their photos taken with their colleagues, clients, entry panels in our special photo room during the event. So some notes about inviting clients, and this is really important, especially for public clients. So ACEC New York definitely encourage you to invite your clients to celebrate with you at the event. However, there's some restrictions for public clients. New York State ethics law has allowed state governments and officials to attend this event since it qualifies as a widely attended event. Each year, ACEC New York submits the event to the ethics department for review. A memo is sent to the firm asking if they want a public client invited. The memo asks for the contact information of the main invitee. ACEC New York sends a formal invitation to the client and a guest on ACEC New York letterhead under the president's signature. The firm is not mentioned in the letter. So that's just a reminder. You may be asked that, but your firm is not mentioned. ACEC New York follows up with each invitation and communicates back to the firm if they have accepted or not. If they accept, they're likely to be seated at your table. Firms are not allowed to pay for the public clients. It's important. And the cost is incurred by the association. Because the public client guests are attending as guests of ACEC New York, we ask that you use your discretion in inviting public guests. Please note that a request for an invitation does not guarantee that the person will be seated at your table. Many firms will invite the same individuals. Decisions on seating are made based on a variety of factors, and ACEC New York has final oversight on all seating arrangements. If different firms invite the same client, we'll work to make sure that public agency guests are equitably distributed amongst the winners. ACEC New York will only invite New York public clients. Private clients are not subject to the same ethics guidelines as public clients, and firms are able to pay for their tickets for their private clients if they're so inclined. Public relations notes. So ads in the printed program are a great way to congratulate your design team. Consider taking out an ad in the program, one of which is placed on everyone's seat the night of the gala. After the gala, the program is placed on our website for viewing and shared to our full mailing list, as well as posted on social media. Overall sponsorship of the event is available now. Sponsors are highlighted at every level of the promotion of the program during the year, including the formal event, the website, the program journal, emails, social media, etc. Sponsorship also supports the ACEC New York Scholarship Fund, with 2 scholarships being given that evening. A full sponsorship guide is available on our website detailing the different levels. So also a press release will be issued by ACEC New York the Monday after the gala. This release will contain a full list of all Diamond Awards, as well as links to the Platinum, Gold, and Silver Awards for our website. Member firms can take advantage of the PR and marketing value by issuing their own press release. Firm press releases can be sent as soon as winners are notified, but we also recommend that firms share the ACEC New York official press release after the event. Firms are encouraged to send their own press releases anytime after you're notified of their award level. Please refer to the program as the ACEC New York Engineering Excellence Awards program, not the ACEC program. The ACEC National has their own EEA, which is separate from our New York version. The gala will be live tweeted, and we encourage participants to join the conversation. The hashtag is hashtag EEANY22. Be sure to follow ACEC New York on Twitter to see highlights of the evening, as well as the program highlights throughout the year. And with that, I think we will close out here with questions and some deadline reminders. This webinar is being recorded, so if you need to reference it, anything that we've mentioned today, it'll be uploaded to ACEC New York YouTube channel. If you have any other questions, you can contact Jennifer Waterbury at the ACEC New York office, 518-452-8611, or email jennifer@acecny.org. Thank you all for participating in this program. The value that EEA brings to member firms and the engineering profession is, in general, can't find anywhere else, and we look forward to seeing all the amazing projects submitted this year.
I think at this time we're taking questions, and I believe the format preferred is to type them into the chat. So fire away.
I think you two were so thorough. I think everyone has had their questions answered.
Well done, Tom.
Thank you, Tom, and
Yeah.
thank you, Luke. As a reminder, a recording of the session and a PDF of the presentation will be distributed via email to all attendees following the webinar, as well as posted to the Engineering Excellence Awards page of the ACEC New York website. Thank you all for attending, and best of luck to everyone on your final entries. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Good luck, everyone.